Lauren Bacall, Humphrey Bogart had emotional affairs, but remained devoted to each other. Author. The power couple of Hollywood's golden era is the subject of a new book by William J. Mann, Bogie and Bacall, the surprising true story of Hollywood's greatest love affair. Lauren Bacall and Humphrey Bogart's passionate romance is still recognized as one of Hollywood's most legendary love stories, but it wasn't always marital bliss. Author William J. Mann has written a book on the power couple that was recently published, Bogie and Bacall, the surprising true story of Hollywood's greatest love affair. In it, he alleged that the pair had once been emotionally unfaithful to each other, their significant age gap being a major factor. In painting an honest portrayal of the couple's marriage, the Hollywood historian spoke to several surviving insiders and had access to never-before-seen documents. Bacall, one of the last stars from Hollywood's golden era, died in 2014 at age 89. When we talk about great love stories, we think of them in fairy tale terms, Mann told Fox News Digital. You know, and they lived happily ever after, as if there weren't going to be challenges, there weren't going to be conflicts. When you make a life with someone, it's about learning how to compromise, learning how to find a way forward together despite what are going to be some differences. And they did have their differences, he shared. Especially in the beginning when Bacall was struggling to be more than just Mrs. Bogart. The relationship was romantic. It was loving, it was committed. But it was not always emotionally faithful. I think they were emotional relationships, emotional affairs, Mann claimed. You can be emotionally unfaithful to your spouse. Bacall, a fashion model, moved to Hollywood from New York when she was 19. She achieved immediate fame in 1944 with one scene in her first film, To Have and Have Not. Leaving Bogart's hotel room, the starlet purred, "You know how to whistle, don't you, Steve? You just put your lips together and blow." Bogart, who was married to his third wife, actress Mayo Method, became Bacall's lover when cameras stopped rolling. He was 25 years older than her. Bogie became her champion, her protector, Mann explained. And I think that sense of him needing to take care of her and protect her really endeared her to him. And their feelings quickly turned into love. The blossoming romance, terrified Bacall, he said. Such a scandal would destroy her career before it even started. It was known at that point that Bogart's marriage was disintegrating, said Mann. They were known as the Battling Bogarts. But, at the same time, Bacall wanted to make sure the public wouldn't blame her or wouldn't see her as a femme fatale. Bogie was also very concerned. He didn't want to lose his position in Hollywood, but he also didn't want to lose her. In the beginning, there was a lot of nervousness. But they were yearning to be together. Bogart returned to Method several times before realizing his marriage couldn't be saved. In 1945, Bogart married Bacall. He was 45, and she was 20. According to Mann, it didn't take long for their marriage to be tested. In 1952, the couple became supporters of Adlai Stevenson during the 1952 presidential election. The governor of Illinois was running as a Democrat opposite Republican Dwight D. Eisenhower. Bacall was always a liberal Democrat, Mann explained. Bogie was originally for Dwight Eisenhower but eventually came over to Stevenson's side as well. And she got campaign fever. Many people who've been in political campaigns understand that you get this adrenaline rush. It was nothing she had ever experienced before. And because I think she thought she was working for a higher purpose, this took on even greater meaning for her than making a movie. She comes out and says in her memoir, "I was far away from Bogie. All I was thinking about was Stevenson," Mann shared. And in Bogie's papers, I found notes from him to director John Huston where he's clearly uncomfortable by his wife's infatuation with this political candidate. And it got very intense. She comes out and says in her memoir, "I was far away from Bogie. All I was thinking about was Stevenson," Mann shared. And in Bogie's papers, I found notes from him to director John Huston where he's clearly uncomfortable by his wife's infatuation with this political candidate. And it got very intense.